follow. I know you've been listening to all these profound speeches for a while, and you're probably getting a little restless. I was going to do, about 45 minutes, but I'm just going to do 5 minutes, and then George Clooney's going to come on naked. So, it'll be a quickie. Okay, but I just want to say I am so honored to be here.
Do not open your eyes. Okay, open your eyes and look at me, 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 look at me. Okay, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who? Silly.
No, Sully. Sully.
Sully. I don't know who that is, but who yelled first?
Sully is the...
I think it's someone over here. Who else yelled? Someone over there. Oh, and this lady over here. All right. Oh, sorry. That's why chocolate truffles.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Did you? I think this game's cheating. All right, come on, ladies. Who else am I? Don't yell your ex-husband unless you really look like this. Your ex-wife. What kind of monster? Oh my God, you got it. This is a brilliant woman. This is a brilliant woman. She's a slut for chocolate. I like her already. I am the manifestation of our inner demons because we become. My point is, I do have a point. I don't like just, dressing. This is not like my crowd. We become our inner. We literally become our demons if we don't exercise. If we don't externalize them.
When we come back, we meet Franny Sheridan, a self-described Jewish shiksa. Doesn't make sense? It will on the other side. Now, you may have heard this story before. European Jews flee the continent. Fearing discrimination in their new land, they abandoned Judaism. Well, Franny Sheridan's parents tried that approach, but not very convincingly. Just watch Confessions of a Jewish Shiksa.
Hello? We on? I'm not going to share the stage with anything skinnier than me. It's going down here. It was 1969 in Ottawa, Canada. Kanaki in the crowd, all right. Both my parents were Jewish, but they raised us Catholic. Yeah, but they weren't very convincing.
Liesel, hurry up. Was magst du?
We're gonna be late for church. Ach, Bernie, don't rush me. You're giving me spilkes. They looked and sounded about as Catholic as Kreplach. At Christmas, my father, Bernie, who was from Vienna, he tried his best to impersonate Santa Claus, right? But he ended up sounding more like Sigmund Freud. Instead of saying, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, he'd say,
Oi, oi, oi. Do you have problems?
And my proudly Jewish mother, who was born in Germany, never wanted to do the Catholic shtick, right? And so sometimes she'd get a little passive-aggressive. Okay, here's a typical family meal. My father's about to take his very first sip of holiday eggnog.
Feh, Liesel, why'd you put in the eggnog? It tastes fakakta.
Ah, Bernie, it's delicious. Yeah, I spiked it with Manischewitz.
My dad told us that we were descended from St. Patrick himself. I believed it, and I believe in the Tooth Fairy and in Santa Claus. You're a little kid. What do what is the big deal? You don't know from any difference until I was 9 years old, and my dad slipped up at the dinner table and said something about a Jewish. So I was like, Daddy, what's a Jewish? And he goes, it's not a Jewish. It's just Jewish. It's what we were, what we are. But many people hate Jews and would happily kill you. So we are Catholic. That is what we are. Never ever tell anyone that we are Jewish, or it will get you and a whole family killed. So I did it for a very long time. And I tell you, from that moment, my, little girl, Walt Disney-esque, happy-go-lucky childhood was transformed into this quagmire of Auschwitzian Holocaust stories that my dad, from that moment on, began telling me obsessively, day and at nighttime too, when post-traumatic stress disorder kept him from his sleep. And I always knew when the stories were about to erupt because there were like prodromal signs. He'd start running, I don't want to ruin my bow, but running his, fingers through his hair and tugging on. By then he'd grown like a little Sigmund Freud style beard, and pacing it. And I never interrupted him because his need to unburden himself and share his stories felt like life and death itself.
Now, next to where my father sits is my sister Mary. Mary sneaks food from the table when she doesn't think we're looking and hides it in her room. The food that she leaves on her plate, she makes into artistic sculpture, just like the piles she's making right now. And she always has a cold or allergies. And she's permanently congested. But Mama gets fed up with her. Mary, what have you done to my lovely potato latkes? Liesel, potato pancakes. Mary, stop playing with your food. Mary? But Mary is just staring at the crucifix hanging on the wall. Sorry, Papa. Sorry, but I have a great idea for a sculpture. Okay, since Jesus would definitely have been in the desert sun for so long, he would have been sunburned. To make the sculpture realistic, I'm going to carve it from orange cheddar cheese, so it looks just like him. And sell the statues and raise money for the church and call them Cheeses for Jesus. Mary, no more making sculpture out of food. Oy vey. You have no idea what it's like to really go hungry. No idea. And speaking of hungry, Liesela, I am sure that you will outdo them at the upcoming Christmas church bake sale, yeah? But sweetheart, instead of the delicious Hammentaschen that you baked today, may I suggest instead you make something, Christmassy, yeah? To appeal to everybody there. Oh, what about those gingerbread men, yeah? That the Gentiles are so crazy about. Ach was, Bernie. I warn you, if you force me to make those Goyische Christmas cookies, my gingerbread men would have to be circumcised. Then Mary had a nervous sneezing attack. Chew! What did you call me, Mary? A Jew? Bernie, the point is, we so need to give the children some of our traditions. Liesel, we have to protect the children. Bernie, we aren't protecting the children by crippling ourselves. Bernie, we were not chosen to turn our backs on our own people. We were chosen to be good examples. Bernie, nobody is standing over you, forcing you to be Catholic like they did to the Spanish people, during the Inquisition. The 1400s are over, Bernie. It's 1969. Yeah, people don't care if you're a Jew or a Catholic or a Druid. And Liesel, look at Israel, the homeland, where practically every day bombs rip arms and legs off the so-called chosen ones. My God, Bernie, my God, if only we'd had Israel to go to. My mother and my father and your parents and everybody might still be alive. No, Bernie, we can't keep playing this game of make-believe. God is not pleased with us. And besides, this little charade, it won't keep us safe. We were not spared the gas chambers. to adopt Hitler's religion. For God's sakes, Bernie, we are alive. We should be dancing. We should be dancing on Hitler's grave. I so wish you had pushed harder to set up a practice in Crown Heights so we could be closer to my brother. His community has Sackle. And besides, I like Americans. They say what they mean. Canadians are, I don't know, they're just so over-the-top polite all the time. Why do they apologize all the time? You know, yesterday I went grocery shopping at the AMP, yeah, and I bumped a woman with my shopping cart, and she apologized to me. I said, no, I bumped you first. I apologize. She said, you're right, I'm sorry. I'm telling you, Bernie, those Canadians have too much maple syrup up their tortoises. Oh, Liesl, Canadians may be a little overly polite now and then, but at least when you say thank you, they say you're welcome. Whereas when you say thank you to most Americans, well, they don't say you're welcome. They say, no problem. Well, if it's no problem, then just say you're welcome. Yeah, well, Bernie, manners aren't everything. Don't forget, some of those terribly well-mannered Viennese didn't do us any favors when they were politely rounding us up. My love, my dear friend Anna wrote me this week, yeah? And, yeah, Anna Freud said it herself. She said, we mustn't allow ourselves to get lost in our dark dreams. Now, please, sweetheart, let's get some sleep. Ach, Bernie, I'll get enough sleep when I'm dead. Bernie, New York is a melting pot and could be such a fun place to live. Remember, we used to stay so late at the Carnegie Deli, we'd be the last to leave. And then we'd go out dancing. Remember, Bernie? Here, let me slip my see-through dirndl on and put on a little Marlene Dietrich and... Liesla, sweetheart, I have to perform cataract surgery in the morning. And sweetheart, I don't want to slip up and give my patient a third eye. Why, Liesla, you bit my lip. Come on, Bernie, don't ruin the mood. Come on, Bernie, lighten up. Liesla. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Liesla, don't pout. Okay, look, I make a funny dance too, look. Oy vey, Liesla, oy vey. Thank you very much.
We thank Carlos Frias and the entire Lip Service crew for Franny's side-splitting send-up.